Excellence in trading is not something you reach by accident. It is not luck. It is not talent. And it is not intelligence. Excellence is a state of behavior. And behavior is built long before the market ever pays you. Most traders chase success. Very few build excellence. And that is why most traders never become consistent, because success can happen once. Excellence has to happen every day. The secret to attaining excellence in trading begins with one uncomfortable truth. The market does not reward what you know. It rewards how you behave under pressure. You can study for years. You can understand everything. You can explain every move perfectly and still fail, because excellence is not knowledge. It is control. Control of emotion, control of impulse, control of expectation. Before excellence, trading feels chaotic. Every session feels important. Every loss feels personal. Every win feels like relief. You trade to feel better, to feel confident, to feel ahead. But excellence begins the day you stop trading to feel anything and start trading to behave correctly. That shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Excellence does not come from trying harder. Trying harder often makes you worse, because effort without control creates force, and force creates mistakes. Excellence comes from removing what does not belong: urgency, expectation, attachment, need. Once those are gone, clarity appears naturally. Most traders think excellence means perfection. It does not. Perfection is fragile. Excellence is stable. Excellent traders still lose. They still miss moves. They still have bad days, but they do not collapse. They do not spiral. They do not abandon discipline. They remain consistent in behavior. That consistency is the real secret. Excellence begins when you stop reacting. Reaction is automatic. It is emotional. It is fast. Response is intentional. It is calm. It is delayed. Excellent traders respond. Average traders react. Reaction feels productive. Response feels slow, but speed is not rewarded here. Precision is. Excellence begins when you stop asking the market to confirm you. You stop needing to be right. You stop needing to catch the move. You stop needing today to matter. As long as you need validation from the market, you are not operating from excellence. You are operating from insecurity. And insecurity always leaks into decisions. Excellence is quiet. It does not rush. It does not announce itself. It shows up as patience, as restraint, as the ability to do nothing without discomfort. Most traders fail because they cannot sit still. They confuse action with progress. But excellence is built in restraint, in waiting, in protecting, in walking away. Excellence begins when you stop treating losses as problems. Losses are not the enemy. Your response to them is. Excellent traders accept losses quickly, not emotionally, practically. They do not negotiate with reality. They do not argue with outcomes. They do not carry yesterday into today. They reset cleanly. That reset is a skill, and it is part of excellence. Excellence begins when your standards rise internally, not externally, not bigger profits, not faster growth, but higher behavioral standards. Did I wait? Did I respect my limits? Did I stay calm? Did I stop when I should? Those questions matter more than money. Money follows behavior. It always has. Excellence begins when you stop trying to win. Winning is short term. Excellence is long term. Winning excites. Excellence compounds. Winning feeds ego. Excellence builds identity. And identity is what sustains performance. Most traders want confidence. Excellent traders build trust. Trust in themselves. Trust that they will not sabotage. Trust that they will stop. Trust that they will protect capital. That trust removes fear, and fear is what breaks discipline. Excellence is not dramatic. It is boring, repetitive, predictable in behavior. That is why so few people reach it. They want excitement. Excellence demands calm. They want speed. Excellence demands patience. They want proof. Excellence demands time. The secret to attaining excellence in trading is not adding more. It is subtracting. Subtracting urgency, subtracting emotion, subtracting expectation, subtracting noise. When those things leave, excellence has room to grow, and it grows quietly without announcing itself until one day you realize something important. Trading no longer feels heavy. It no longer feels personal. It no longer feels like a fight. It feels manageable, controlled, clear. That is not luck. That is excellence forming. Excellence deepens the moment you stop trying to impress yourself. Most traders secretly trade for a feeling, the feeling of being smart, the feeling of being early, the feeling of being right. Those feelings are dangerous. They pull you out of discipline and into ego. Excellence begins when you no longer need those feelings. When your satisfaction comes from execution, not outcome. You place a trade correctly, you manage it correctly, you exit when you should, and regardless of the result, you are calm. That calm is earned. It comes from repetition, from showing up the same way on good days and bad days, from respecting limits, even when emotions argue. This is where excellence separates itself from average performance. Average traders are disciplined when it feels easy. Excellent traders are disciplined when it feels uncomfortable. They do not negotiate with their rules. They do not bend structure because of emotion. They do not justify poor behavior with good intentions. They act correctly even when it feels wrong to do so. That ability is not talent, it is conditioning. Excellence is built by conditioning the mind to respond the same way under pressure. Pressure reveals habits, it does not create them. If pressure makes you rush, that habit was already there. If pressure makes you freeze, that habit was already there. Excellence means pressure no longer changes who you are. You remain steady. Before excellence, pressure feels threatening. After excellence begins to form, pressure feels familiar. It becomes part of the environment, not something to escape. Excellence grows when you stop measuring progress emotionally. Emotion lies, it exaggerates, it reacts. Excellent traders measure progress structurally. Fewer mistakes, cleaner exits, better patience, faster emotional recovery. These changes are subtle, but they are permanent. Impermanence is the goal. Excellence does not chase intensity. Intensity burns out. Excellence chases balance. Balance sustains. A balanced trader does not overreact to wins. They do not overreact to losses. They return to neutral. Neutral is the home of excellence because neutral thinking allows clarity. Clarity allows consistency. Consistency allows growth. Excellence also requires honesty, not public honesty, private honesty, honesty about why you took a trade, honesty about when you rushed, honesty about when you acted emotionally. Excellent traders do not hide from these truths. They confront them calmly. Correction without emotion is powerful. Self-attack is not. Excellence grows when you stop punishing yourself for mistakes. Punishment creates fear. Fear creates hesitation. Hesitation creates inconsistency. Excellent traders correct, adjust, and move on. They treat mistakes as information, not as identity. This distinction changes everything. Excellence requires patience with progress, not patience with the market, patience with yourself. You will repeat mistakes. You will break rules sometimes. You will feel frustration. This does not mean excellence is failing. It means it is forming. Most people quit at this stage because they expect change to feel good. Change rarely does. Growth stretches you, and stretching feels uncomfortable. Excellence also demands a long-term lens. You stop asking what happened today. You start asking what is happening over months, over seasons, over cycles. Short-term focus creates emotional swings. Long-term focus creates stability. Stability allows excellence to mature. Excellence is protected by boundaries. Boundaries around time, boundaries around risk, boundaries around emotion. When boundaries are clear, behavior stays clean. When boundaries blur, discipline erodes. Excellent traders guard boundaries fiercely, not because they are rigid, but because they understand what happens when boundaries are crossed. They have lived it. Excellence requires you to stop romanticizing struggle. Struggle feels noble, but it often hides poor structure. Excellent trading feels simple. Not easy, but simple. Clear decisions, clear stops, clear exits, clear limits. Complexity feeds ego. Simplicity feeds consistency. Excellence also changes your relationship with boredom. Boredom no longer feels like failure. It feels like discipline working. When nothing needs to be done, excellence does nothing. That restraint is strength. Excellence grows when you trust process over emotion. Emotion wants speed. Process wants time. Emotion wants relief. Process wants consistency. Choosing process again and again rewires behavior. Over time, excellence becomes automatic. Not forced, not stressful, just natural. You no longer need to remind yourself to be disciplined. You simply are. That is when excellence has taken root, not when profits explode, but when behavior stabilizes, because stable behavior always leads to stable results. Even if it takes time, excellence is not something you reach, it is something you maintain. And maintenance is daily, quiet, unseen, but powerful. Excellence is tested most when nothing seems to be happening. Long stretches of silence, flat days, sessions where the market moves, but nothing aligns for you. This is where most traders break, not because they lose money, but because they lose patience. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It exposes restlessness. It exposes the need to act. It exposes insecurity. Excellence is revealed in how you behave during these quiet periods. Average traders grow impatient. They manufacture reasons to enter. They convince themselves something is forming. They act to escape boredom. Excellent traders sit. They observe. They remain neutral. They do not confuse time passing with opportunity. They understand something most people do not. The market is not always offering you a role. Sometimes the role is to stay out. Excellence means you are comfortable being unnecessary. That mindset alone removes a huge amount of pressure. You stop forcing relevance. You stop trying to participate. You let the market invite you in. Excellence also shows itself after losses. Losses are unavoidable. What matters is what they wake up inside you. Fear, anger, urgency, or calm adjustment. Most traders react emotionally to loss. They want it back. They speed up. They loosen discipline. They tell themselves they are focused, but they are angry. Anger wears the mask of determination. Excellence removes the mask. Excellent traders recognize emotional charge immediately. They do not act from it. They pause. They reduce activity. They protect their mindset. They understand that a single emotional decision after a loss can erase weeks of discipline. Excellence also shows itself after success. Wins are dangerous. They create confidence spikes. Confidence spikes loosen rules. Loosened rules create losses. Most traders fall apart after good days, not bad ones. Excellent traders treat wins with caution. They do not celebrate by increasing risk. They do not feel invincible. They return to neutral, always neutral. Neutral keeps behavior consistent. Consistency keeps excellence intact. Excellence is protected by routine, not rigid routine. Reliable routine, the same preparation, the same waiting, the same stopping point. Routine removes decision fatigue. When fewer decisions are required, discipline holds longer. Most emotional mistakes happen when the mind is tired. Excellent traders conserve mental energy. They know when to stop. They respect fatigue. They do not push through exhaustion. Excellence is not about toughness. It is about awareness. Excellence also requires emotional independence. You stop needing the market to make you feel good. You stop using wins to fix confidence. You stop using trading as emotional validation. When trading becomes emotional support, excellence disappears. Excellent traders feel complete before they trade. Trading is an activity, not an identity. This separation protects you. Excellence grows when you accept that you will never eliminate emotion. Emotion is human. The goal is not to remove emotion. It is to stop obeying it. Excellent traders feel fear and still wait. They feel excitement and still reduce activity. They feel frustration and still step away. Emotion becomes background noise, not a command. Excellence requires humility, not once, daily. Humility to accept uncertainty, humility to accept mistakes, humility to accept that you are always learning. The moment ego rises, excellence weakens. Ego wants to prove. Excellence wants to protect. Excellence changes how you think about time. You stop thinking in days. You think in seasons. You understand that progress is not visible immediately. You stop checking results obsessively. You focus on repeating correct behavior. Over time, results follow quietly, reliably. Excellence also means you stop chasing perfection. Perfection is brittle. One mistake breaks it. Excellence is flexible. It absorbs mistakes. It adjusts calmly. It continues. That resilience is what allows longevity. Excellence makes trading feel lighter, not because it is easy, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. You are no longer dragging emotion into every decision. You are no longer trying to control what cannot be controlled. You are operating within your limits, and limits create freedom. Excellence also means you stop comparing. Comparison creates urgency. Urgency destroys discipline. You stop measuring your journey against others. You measure it against your own behavior. Was I patient? Was I calm? Was I disciplined? Those answers matter more than any screenshot. Excellence is quiet. You will not feel it arrive. One day you simply notice that things that used to shake you no longer do. Losses pass quickly. Missed moves do not hurt. Boredom does not bother you. You trust yourself, and trust in yourself is the foundation of excellence. This is not something you turn on and off. It is something you live every day, every decision, every pause. Excellence is not built in moments of action. It is built in moments of restraint. And restraint, practiced long enough, becomes identity. When excellence becomes your natural state, trading no longer feels like something you are trying to do well. It feels like something you simply do correctly. There is no inner debate, no emotional buildup, no rush to act, no fear of missing out. You see what is there, you see what is not, and you are comfortable with both. This is where excellence separates itself from discipline alone. Discipline can still feel heavy. Excellence feels light because excellence is no longer forced. It is internalized. Before this point, you needed reminders, rules on paper, mental checklists, effort to stay calm. Now, calm is your baseline, not because emotions disappeared, but because you no longer identify with them, they pass. You remain steady. Excellence shows itself in how quickly you return to balance. A loss happens, you reset. A win happens, you reset. Nothing pulls you too far in either direction. That balance is rare, and rarity is what the market pays for over time. Excellence also changes your relationship with control. You stop trying to control the market. You stop trying to control outcomes. You stop trying to control time. You control preparation. You control exposure. You control behavior. That is enough. Everything else is released. And releasing what you cannot control removes tension. Tension was the invisible weight you carried before. Excellence lifts that weight. Excellence also refines your patience. Not the patience of waiting nervously, but the patience of knowing you do not need to act. You trust that when alignment appears, you will be ready. Until then, waiting is not stressful. It is intentional. This kind of patience cannot be faked. It is earned through repetition, through surviving mistakes, through choosing restraint again and again. Excellence makes your decisions cleaner. You do not second guess as much. You do not overthink. You do not analyze yourself into paralysis because your standards are clear. Your limits are clear. Your behavior is predictable. Predictability in behavior creates confidence, not emotional confidence, structural confidence, the kind that does not collapse. Excellence also makes you less reactive to noise, opinions, predictions, news, other traders. They no longer pull you. You have your process, and your process has proven itself through discipline. Noise fades when self-trust grows. Excellence is protected by self-respect. You respect your energy. You respect your time. You respect your limits. You no longer trade when tired. You no longer trade when emotional. You no longer trade to escape discomfort. That respect keeps excellence intact. Excellence also means you stop romanticizing struggle. You no longer believe that suffering equals progress. Progress is not pain. Progress is consistency. If something constantly feels chaotic, something is wrong. Excellence simplifies. It removes friction. It reduces internal conflict. Excellence does not demand you push harder. It demands you align better. Excellence also reshapes your goals. You stop setting emotional goals. You stop chasing numbers. You focus on behavioral goals. Stay patient. Protect capital. Follow rules. Stop on time. These goals are within your control, and hitting them daily builds momentum. Momentum built this way does not fade. Excellence also teaches you when to step away. Not every season is meant for growth. Some seasons are meant for preservation. Excellent traders know when to press and when to protect. Knowing the difference is wisdom. Excellence does not fear slowing down. It understands that slowing down is sometimes the fastest way forward. Excellence makes trading feel honest. You no longer lie to yourself. You no longer justify. You no longer hide from mistakes. Honesty removes internal tension. Internal tension was what used to leak into decisions. Excellence also brings peace, not excitement, Peace. Peace knowing you are operating correctly. Peace knowing you are not forcing. Peace knowing that whatever happens next, you will respond with discipline. That peace is priceless because it allows you to show up day after day without burnout. Excellence is not a peak you reach. It is a ground you stand on. From that ground, performance becomes consistent. From consistency, results grow slowly, quietly, reliably. This is the secret to attaining excellence in trading. Not a trick, not a shortcut, not a strategy, but a complete shift in how you relate to the market. You stop asking it to give you something. You start showing up as someone who deserves consistency. And consistency is what excellence ultimately produces. The market does not reward those who try the hardest. It rewards those who remain the most disciplined over time. Excellence is not dramatic. It is durable, and durability is what allows you to stay long enough for success to become inevitable. This is where excellence lives, in calm, in restraint, in clarity, in consistency. And once it is built, it does not leave, because excellence, once internalized, becomes who you are.